Chris from Daddy Mac Dyes here, and one of the most popular style discs I've had so far is this wood resin style dye. So today I'm going to take you through both methods on how to do this and what you're going to need to do it. So first off is going to be your discs. White premium plastic is going to work best for this. Today I'm going to be using Castoplast K1. I got a Grim X and the yarn here, yarn, I don't know, I haven't heard it pronounced yet. That particular style plastic really shows this style very well. You will need, whatever you use for a bed. I prefer one of these white Ultimate Frisbees, just because I'm able to really see the colors that I'm putting down. You could use other color, beds, but that just works best for me. I prefer that. One of these skewers is super handy. You're going to need that. One of these, you can use whatever you want. I prefer this syringe tip that I blow air through to manipulate the bed. You could use a straw or a pen or whatever you want to concentrate that airflow to be able to manipulate the glue. You will need one of these squeeze bottles for the just extra clear glue. And obviously your droppers, gloves so I don't dye my hands. I highly recommend just having some extra paper towels around. Alright, so the colors that I use, now for the wood, I use a couple of different companies. So right now, Burnt Sienna from Pro Chemical and Dye. I use iDye Poly Brown just because I don't have any of the Pro Chem Brown right now. Quick Coat Pumpkin Dip, or Quick Coat Worm Dip Pumpkin, and then Golden Yellow, and that is from iDye Poly as well, but I believe Pro Chem has a color Dandelion that's very similar to that. So as far as the black, my Onyx Black I always use. And then for the center colors, it's up to you. I prefer, your purples and blues and those hues. They show up a lot better. Orange is going to look really, really weird, and yellow. Greens can kind of work, but really the blues and purples really help stand out. Pink and stand out a lot more. The last thing you're going to need is one of these little kind of paint trays, and I use that to mix colors together, which we're going to be doing. Alright, so that's all the supplies you're going to need. I will make a list, I guess, on the screen that you'll see, and I'll move the camera around so you guys can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I have my bed poured, and the first one I think we're going to go through is just where we have the river going right down the middle, and I'm going to start off with black and do my black lines first, and after we do the black lines, then we will get to the color. Alright, so first things first, just going to take some of my Onyx and I want one and then two clean, smooth lines all the way across. You can kind of see that everything's connected, no gaps in between. Alright, and we'll just let that settle back to the center. Usually I don't have all this camera equipment set up when I'm dyeing, so we'll just kind of have to make do. Alright, so now that I got my two black lines and I've thinned them out, I'm going to do all my outside color. So I'm going to start with Burnt Sienna, and I'm just going to go across, making sure to drop that far enough away that it's not rolling over the black. Alright, and then we'll just do maybe an extra drop or two out there like that. Now I'm going to take my brown, I'm going to do a couple of drops of brown in there, and then come back with my pumpkin. And the pumpkin, I'll just kind of blend it all in there together. And I just kind of flood the bed with that. Alright, it gives us that nice natural look. And then I'll add just a little bit of golden yellow, just to some of those negative spots. And it's fine because it all blends together. And I mean, that's just the natural look of wood. So, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do this aquatic green. I'm going to take some of my Caribbean down here. Let's see, actually, let's do it over here. So Caribbean right there. And then I just want to take maybe 3, 4, 5 drops of aquatic green in there with that Caribbean. And then I'm just going to lay that right on top there. Alright. And then I can even I'll take some dye blue. Maybe we'll do some dye blue on the end. Just a few drops like that. Just to get a little bit of depth. And so now is where the skewer comes in. So you can do this any way you want. It really doesn't matter. I'm gonna do these long ways. So it's kind of like the grain of the wood. Just gonna go back and forth with my skewer, just like that. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, back and forth. All right. Now I'm gonna take my syringe here. Just kind of go back and forth just to get give it a more natural look so it just doesn't look raked. And then I'm going to go back in and give it a little more texture and flow. So I'm just going to blow in at an angle on this black line. Not too hard. And I'll just turn this around. Right, because it doesn't really matter. You don't need to be symmetrical or anything like that. I mean, it's supposed to resemble wood. So now I'm just going to go through the middle. Just like that. And that's pretty much it. You know, I have my my bed. It's all ready to go. And I am going to drop in this grim here. I'm just going to start from one side and go to the other. And there we go. I'm going to let that sit for the next 24 hours with no heat. And we'll see what that looks like tomorrow. And now we'll do the other style real quick. So I'm just going to get a bed ready. I don't need a whole lot of glue in this one because I'm using a pretty flat disc. That yarn is pretty flat, so I don't need a whole lot of glue in there. This one is a little bit easier, sort of easier, I feel like, because you're not dealing with both those lines and everything. So I'm just going to start by doing one stripe down the middle of the black. Same thing as last time. I'm just going to blow it at an angle. I'm going to tighten that up. Alright, just like that. You guys can see that. Now, let's see. I'm going to do the same thing as last time. I'm going to start with the burnt sienna. And I'm going to go along, I like to go along the middle with the burnt sienna. just like that. Same thing, couple drops with the brown. No real rhyme or reason to where that's going. And then I'll come back with my pumpkin. A few drops of the golden yellow. And maybe we'll do a couple more spots of brown, just like that. And then you can actually even, if you want to, you can throw like one drop of black in there, and that kind of makes it look like you have that crack in the wood. Okay, so same thing. We're just going to do our grain real quick, like that. Again, I'm going to do the side to side kind of long ways, but you could do it either way. I mean, you can come in here and you could go diagonal with it. I've done that with plenty of them. It all looks really good. Alright, so now that we got that, I'm going to come in and just, again, give it a little bit of a texture so it doesn't look just straight raked out. Alright, so we kind of got a nice wood grain pattern there, you can see. And here's where you're going to need that that glue. So, if you guys have seen my agate style die, I do have the tutorial on YouTube, but this is very similar. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to get a little more Caribbean. Couple of drops of aquatic green in there. Okay. That way we're all set to go with that. Now, I'm just going to take the glue and I'm going to kind of do like an oval shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then do a couple of drops of black in there. Come back and I do the glue again, just spreading that out just like that. And now I can come in here with my Caribbean aquatic green mix. Can even throw do a little drop of like, say, pink in there. That'll kind of give it a cool look to it. All right, and then I'm just going to drag that out that way, like that. So now it looks kind of like a crack in the wood. I'm gonna do the same thing the other way. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we'll just come in here. Kind of blow it around. And now we will do the same thing on the other side. So come in here with my clear glue, make a space for that. Drops of black. And just widen that out with the clear glue. And this one we'll do dye blue Caribbean, so it kind of blends a little bit. All right, same thing. Just gonna draw this out, giving that natural look there. So now it looks just like two resin cavities in the wood. And I'm just gonna lightly kind of mess with that. All right, and now we are ready to lay the disc down in there. And I just want to make sure, you know, I kind of want to make this stripe go down the middle of the disc. It could go whichever way you want, however you want to turn it, doesn't matter. I think I'm going to go with that running down the center. And just lay it at an angle from one side to the other. And there we go. So again, we're going to let that sit for the next 24 hours, and we're going to have some results tomorrow.
Into the sky over Central City. Look in the sky. What in blazes does it mean?
Alright, that's a wrap for me. You know, we got two really cool discs. I hope you guys learned something. I got another stack of discs to do, so I'm going to get to work on that. But thank you guys, as always, for watching. I appreciate it. Until next time, I hope you see you out there in the course. 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm talking to a camera. I need more coffee. So much more.